This is video 2, September 9th, 2016. My partner understands that this is a role-playing counseling scenario and that this is for educational purposes only for the Counseling Psychology Department of Toccoa Falls College, and has signed a consent form. Hello, Scott. How are you?
I'm good.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
So, what's been going on in your life since the last time we met?
Well, I did take a leap of faith and didn't let my fear of student debt prevent me from starting college. I feel like that it can help provide a better future for my family and for the children that are left in the house now. So that's about it. I did start, and I was glad to do so. Some challenges, though, obviously.
Well, congratulations on your new journey. I'm glad that you were able to push through those feelings of doubt, and I think that always in education is for the betterment of anyone's life, so I'm glad that you did that.
Thank you.
So, since you've been in school and you said that you've been facing some challenges, so what exactly has been going on since then?
I would say they were new challenges, but I believe starting school just brought challenges maybe that were there from the past and maybe amplified them and made them obvious and a bigger concern. The biggest challenge I'm having right now is I'm very concerned about the amount of time that the school, on top of my other responsibilities, are taken away from the time with my family in the home. It's very, very concerning right now, and I'm having a really tough time balancing that.
Yes, well, I can see where that would be an issue. It would be an issue for any, adult that has kids, a family, and is going back to school. It's definitely a real challenge that a lot of families these days are facing, and the older adults going back to college. So what do you think that has happened in the past that got brought to the surface, as you said?
I have some adult children right now who have already graduated college and started careers. They're in their mid to upper 20s. Those children are that are ranging. Being a 45-year-old person and with children of that age, when I look back, I have a lot of regrets. Before Christ came in my life, I made mistakes that are under the blood and are forgiven and everything else. But even after I got saved, I look back, and some of the biggest regrets I have is that my children grew up so quickly, and I regret not spending time with them. I don't feel like that it is an unfounded feeling either. I can honestly look back with my lifestyle that I had then, being an entrepreneur, being a church pastor, at the time evangelist, things like that. I had so much going on that I feel like my priorities were not where they should have been then, and now I'm feeling that pain and that frustration and regret of not having done that with them, not having spent time. And an 8-year-old and a 16-year-old that are still in the house, and I see that pattern potentially re-emerging, and I don't know how to stop it because of the demands of college and career.
Yes.
Being a husband, being a pastor of a very low-income church that can, rarely pay us, and it just gets in that mix and that balance of not knowing what to do. Because I feel like the college is necessary to provide a better future for us. But on the other hand, it also is taking a lot of time, and I don't want kids to grow up currently and have those same regrets.
Yes, well, that's totally understandable. What do you think that you could do differently this time that you didn't do last time?
Definitely a question of a prompt reflection, maybe one that I could reflect on beyond this meeting. I guess one of the first things that comes to mind is explore some time management. If there are some areas where maybe I'm spending time that aren't absolutely necessary, maybe do away with some things. For example, I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but it is important for what I do as a pastor and as an instructor for some other things as well. But that can be a time stealer, maybe do away with some of that. And I think for me, the biggest challenge is going to be, just keeping my priorities where they should be. God first, my wife, and my children. I get very driven to do well and to excel. I think that's what I allow to come in between the time with my older children, and I have to maybe not be so driven or reprioritize. Definitely a question for deeper reflection, though.
Yes, I agree. Well, maybe that, and maybe after, in between the time that we meet now and the next time that we meet, maybe that can be something that you can probably try to work on. Maybe you can compile, let's say, some kind of a list of things that you can do to better prioritize your time. And another thing that I would like for you to maybe ponder is what is your view of quality time, and exactly what does that mean to you? For some people it might mean one thing, but for some it might mean another. What does quality time with your kids consist of?
Yeah, it's something that I don't feel like I have an unrealistic definition of the quality time. I am my own worst critic, though. I do have to be careful for that, not be too hard on myself in that. I think maybe I can communicate to the children and ask them how they feel about the time, and also I want to make sure they understand some of the sacrifice I'm making now. I hope that they will benefit from it in the future, but that's not a replacement for me being with them now. Now I also take and have grandchildren, so I started very young in life, and I make it a point to try to be there whenever my daughter needs me for them, so that I don't have those same regrets with them as well. Because
Right.
as well as I do, and anybody else that is an adult, especially with children, it's like the fast forward button gets pressed on time whenever you have children, and then somebody hits it again and double times it whenever grandchildren get here, it seems.
Well, maybe as far as making time throughout the day, what is your daily life like as far as your the way that your day goes? How does that usually work for you?
I normally I set a goal to try to get up early before the rest of my family. Spend a little time praying and doing a devotion that I do with some of the guys in the church through text and things like that. Admittedly, sometimes that gets kind of pushed to the back burner. I do wake up and greet God and say prayer. I don't spend a lot of time in prayer till I get woke up. But normally after that, I'll try to work on school a little bit, and homeschool the 8-year-old, and so normally let him sleep in a little later and begin homeschooling him. And I have a challenge right now. Actually, I need to get another laptop so that he and I can work simultaneously. Some of the lessons that he's on after I've instructed him, we could be working together, but that definitely poses a challenge. But once that gets started on that, I'll either start working on my messages for Sunday morning or school and things like that. And then whenever my wife gets home in the afternoons or early evenings, I try to peel myself away from school, but sometimes it just seems too impossible. And it seems like the same problem is perpetuated, that I'm missing the quality time there.
Okay. Well, between the time that we're here now and the next time that we meet, I would like for you to come up with some ideas that you can incorporate throughout the day with your son, your homeschool son, of how maybe you can stop, even if it's just 5 minutes, to stop, take a break, and do a small activity together, or just sit and talk to him for a few minutes, or something like that. And then the same with your wife. Maybe you can figure out a way to make a priority to just stop and talk for a few minutes before all the busyness gets started of dinner and homework and baths and all that. And so I'd like for you to come up with some ideas about that, and just be pondering some different things about. One thing that I would like for you to consider is how much time do you spend feeling badly about the time that you're not spending with your kids, and maybe that could be, the time spent with them could replace the time that you spend feeling guilty about, what some things that you have no control over. And so I look forward to seeing, what you can come up with in that, and hope that I can help guide you in the right direction.
Sounds
All right, so I'll see you next time.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks.